Do less, I got next. Playing off the ball, and you know the J wet. She text back, so I'm saying there's a chance. Girl, I'm sorry in advance. And you know we got the passion. He talk a lot of shit, at least I gotta laughing, right?
This is Secret segment number 12. I'm very excited about this secret segment because we have a very special guest. This is Clinton Yates. So you can say hello if you'd like, Clinton.
Hello if you'd like.
So 10 random questions, super rapid fire, answer honestly. First one, what's your favorite color?
Blue. Very easy.
Literally.
As well as my skin tone. I like all the different shades. Deal with it.
Every single one of my secret segment guests has said blue so far. I need to take that question out.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Smart people.
Question number 2. If you had to choose only one candy to eat forever, what would it be?
Fruit snacks. I eat fruit snacks of all varieties all the time. Welch's are good. Kellogg's makes a good one. I'm trying to think of some others. Mott's are pretty decent, even though they're super natural.
What about fruit by the foot? Is fruit by the foot technically a fruit snack or nah?
I mean, it's in the phylum. I don't necessarily know in the taxonomy if it's the same as what I like, which are little little things. I gotta get some fruit snacks to make me hungry.
You don't know if it's same genus or species, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Not the same species at all.
I love it. Okay. Question number 3, best vacation you've ever been on?
Best what?
Vacation.
Probably to Italy. One of my boys got married like 4 years ago, and me and my other homie, we went, and like, it was funny because he had just gotten married and he hadn't been on a honeymoon, but like, we had planned this trip, and it was in Italy, and my dude is English. He lived in Africa for a while, and he lived in the States, and then he lives in Hong Kong now. So he was like, yo, look, I'm going to go to Italy and develop Central. And, I speak French, and my buddy speaks Spanish. And we were like, are we going to, like, brush up on the Italian? And we were like, no real point in that. We can either speak French or speak Spanish. And if we have to, then we'll speak English. We didn't really speak that much English, though. So.
Right. That's cool.
We went to Rome. And it was during the Euros, so that was like super tight.
Wow.
And yeah, it was dope.
Did you have any assignments over there at all, or was it just strictly pleasure?
Absolutely. We were there having a great time. It was 10 days in Italy, and we went to Rome first, and then we went to the wedding, so that we made sure that we were at least in country.
They didn't have to come after the stragglers.
Exactly.
Were you?
Super fun too. We showed up. I'll never forget. We showed up like the day before, and we like crashed the family dinner.
Yeah.
The day before, and everyone was like, "Who are these jokers?" And the bride in the room was like, "Yeah." Like, his mom knew us, but all his other friends, wherever, like didn't, and they were like, "Who the f are you clowns?" Showed up like, yeah, we're here, and it was really fun though. But
That's awesome. I feel like Italy is on everybody's bucket list, so I feel like everybody always has good stories from there.
Oh yeah, wedding in the hills.
Yeah. So then I guess maybe that travel question segues into this one. But name one food that you absolutely will not eat under any circumstance.
That's tough. I mean, I probably won't eat anything that's already alive.
Okay.
Like, that's not yet dead.
Yeah.
Like, raw, I'm fine with it. But, like, not dead, I'm kind of like, that's not really my speed. Like, if it's moving, you know what I mean? Or if, like, I gotta kill it in my mouth.
No.
Like that. Like, with my microbial freaking acids or whatever. Like, nah. I'm not trying to have something die inside me. I'm trying to make it dead before I decide to consume.
Fair. I'm with you on that. I have no argument there at all. So 5, definitely more relevant question to the podcast, but what was the first live sporting event that you ever attended?
I don't necessarily know the answer to that for real, but the first ones I can remember were Hoyas basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a season ticket holder, and back in the 80s, black family, and John Thompson was a big fan of obviously black players and pushing the movement. So back in the day, like Charlie Smith, Reggie Jackson, like old ass Hoyas, from the 80s. That was my first experience in college basketball. My first experience really liking that team. So those are the first games I really, really remember, like being like 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Going from regularity out to the Cap Center, like on Saturday mornings and midweek. It was tight.
That's awesome. If you had to choose, I can't wait to hear how you answer this. This is such a good question for you. If you had to choose one actor or actress to play you in a movie about you, who would it be?
This is easy, and not because I've come up with this answer, because people have told me this. Derek Liu. He was in Friday Night Lights. You might remember him.
Yep.
Booby.
Yep.
But people don't realize he was 30 in that movie.
Yeah.
He was a grown ass man when he did that joint. And so, I don't necessarily look like him.
Such a good movie.
He's a good actor, and I just think he's got the kind of steez that I understand. A lot of actors from certain eras, they very much represent parts of the world that they're from.
Right.
But he's always been a guy that could blend well in different roles, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that dude would understand, what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not trying to say I was just ripped. Friday Night Lights in high school, because I was not. But, you know what I'm saying?
But if I would have been, I would have been him.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Right, exactly. But not even close. So.
That's funny. This one is another good one for you, given that there's been a lot going on this last week or so. But what is one thing you've learned in the past week?
In the past week, I have learned that white people have a real problem with the Nword. In a way that is really funny sometimes. I was on the air with some dude, and the topic came up, and he decided to give us his whole thoughts on it. And I'm not mad at him per se, but gave me his whole thoughts on what he thought about the word. And I was just like, yo, dog, I use that word every day. I'm gonna use that word every day until I die.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna use it with my kids, and it's a dinner table word in my family, and you don't have to worry about it. The dude was shocked. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, that's just what it is. Just don't say it.
Yeah.
That's just all you have to do, And, not that it's a big surprise, but it's always interesting when people who are grown up are confronted with that. It says about other people who are as old and as accomplished, I'm using air quotes, as they are.
Yep.
They hear something like that, they're like, yo, word? I'm like, yeah, dude, sorry, it's not for you, and that's okay. It's not like a militant thing. It's just why do you have to think about something you don't have to think about?
Yeah, doesn't apply to you. Out of sight, out of mind. Totally, I like that. And I definitely think it's something a lot more people need to learn too. So thank you for bringing that up. On that note, pick one to be for a day, villain or hero.
Part of my life. Part of my life is that I kind of embody a lot of both of that.
Totally.
I've come to learn that over the years.
Yeah.
So not to talk about the question, but I'm not saying I'm a hero to anybody specific, but I know the feedback I get from people from my hometown. Not just kids, but people who are yo, man, you represent an era of DC that there's not a whole lot of us. If you think about a lot of the major cities across America, and you think about a lot of the people who are, I don't want to say famous, but who have had voices in this landscape, there's not a whole lot of brothers from DC from the 80s and 90s who are still around.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And still talk for us, because most of us are either dead or in jail. When I was growing up, where if you were born where I was born, when y'all was born, your life expectancy was 25.
Wow.
I'm almost 40. So for us to be able to be represented by not just me, but somebody who survived, and I really did my best to sort of put down for what we were all about. You know, and that to me, and to a lot of people that's really scary. So that makes me the villain, but to other people that's pretty heroic. So
definitely, I agree. Well, and you always, to me, as somebody who has observed you, you've always been somebody who is adamantly proud of where you're from, and you're always going to tell people where you're from. It's not something that you ever shy away from. So
it makes a difference in who I am. I think people I don't know, man, people look at the way I talk, people look at the clothes or whatever, and they're like, yo, this dude is a clown. And it's nah, man,
you just gotta understand it.
It wasn't easy to be yourself, in moments like that growing up, because I don't know, man. I could have taken your life, but lucky enough, I got my people and I got all that, and I still go back around the way. I still get my haircut around the way, I live in LA.
Yep.
But so it's real. That's me. So why would I do anything else?
Definitely. Definitely. So, question number 9. We've got 2 left. It's not so intense, but the last one might be. Question number 9 is, what's your favorite day of the week?
It's easy. It's definitely Friday. And the reason why my favorite day of the week is Friday is because you get both worlds. Like, I just get excited to go to school. And you go to school on Friday so you can see all your friends. Then at the end of the day, you get to party.
It's the weekend.
You got both. You know what I mean? So you had the relief of it's Friday, but the next day was Saturday, so you can do whatever.
Yep. Sleep in, Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah,
so even when I worked, even when I worked Monday through Friday like that, it was Friday, let's get after it. I didn't see y'all on Saturday, you know what I'm saying? But I'll hang out with y'all on Friday.
That's true. That's very true. I agree. Okay, last question. Give it to us straight, okay? Clinton, no holds barred. Worst career advice you have ever gotten?
Worst? It's a good question.
Man, I shut up Clinton Yates?
No, it's just that I don't listen to a whole lot of bad advice. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Well, you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of what that would even be because...
You, immediately disregard.
When that comes along in your mind, you know a bad idea when you see one. I remember when I used to write for... when I was at Express as an editor, and I was trying to push them to let me write columns. And they were like, well, I don't know if that's something for you in this format and this, that, and third. And they were always, pushing against it because nobody could really understand what my voice was going to be in that context.
Right.
And it was always sort of looked at maybe this is not as good of an idea as you think it is. And I was like, okay, all right, see about that. And it wasn't anything personal. It was just if y'all don't know, that's fine. I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I eventually went on to what we used to call the big paper. And I did that. And, look, just to be clear, I will credit my man Dan Cacabaro, who was the editor of Express, brought me on when he was just, randomly looking at stuff I had sent him and said, yo, you want to be an editor. So, it wasn't about him or anything like that. It was just that at the time, like I was saying before, a lot of people couldn't understand why a person like me needed or wanted to have a voice like that. So, I started writing my newsletter, and they were like, oh, okay, well, this dude's got a little bit of following. It was like, well, right. And then from there, people just, people enjoyed what it was. And I didn't really have to do anything other than just, like I said, tell people who I am or what I saw. But, I take it pretty seriously. So,
totally.
When people tell you can't do something, I'm not one of these people that says, well, you can make anything happen. It's not that. It's just that, if you are trying to do it, you got to at least make sure that you give it a shot.
Definitely.
If you fail, all right. But, I didn't fail, so whatever.
But just you guys know, I did it.
Right. That's what it is.
Awesome. Well, that concludes the 10 question secret segment. So thanks for joining us for that. And of course, we will see you over on the main episode for episode 12 for your interview. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All I want is you to stay like what you know about this. About to trade my bitch for a first round pick. You thought these wounds would never heal. Swerving through this tournament, I bet I find a steel type. Delay the favorite, but I always bet the field swap. Blood cousins for a grandma, buddy he'll promise it's nothing, but I'm swearing this is real. You switch teams, but the league just might appeal. Stats nice, so she ought to be.